last couple of days of the regular season. Sunday, it's game 82 for all 30 teams. And entering play tonight, this, if you can read this, is what the postseason bracket actually looks like. Tonight's doubleheader here on ESPN. It has two first-round matchups we could potentially see as the playoffs get underway. Kenny's taking notes because there's so much happening here on this graphic. But shout out our graphics producers trying to get all of it in as we welcome you one more time inside our Los Angeles studio. And this week we called in reinforcements. We needed another Tar Heel.
I am not here to poach any more talent. I am here to do my job. I poached enough, and I got who I wanted to be down there in Chapel Hill. We have poached enough.
You have literally all season long been saying, when is Coach Malone going to go and cut? Well, you got your wish. 100%. Kendrick Perkins still here. Brian Windhorst is stuck with us. So we got a lot to get to in this show. I guess we start with let's get out and run here. It's brought to you by Samsung Galaxy, and this is where we're going to start. We just got news that Donovan Mitchell is good to go in this game, right, tonight. He has the most 30-point games in a season by a Cavaliers since LeBron James. He will be starting. Do you think he should be getting more buzz for All-NBA, Kenny?
Yes, for All-NBA. I think overall, when your team is winning, the winner gets the spoils. And his team he's put himself and his team in a position to win regardless before James Harden got there as well.
All right, so you're saying, yes, the buzz should be more. And again, he is starting in this game. As for the Hawks, they have the East Best record since February the 22nd, thanks in large part to Jalen Johnson, averaging career highs across the board, Windy. Is this more than just a mirage?
Well, Malika, this gentleman is going to be on my All-NBA team. He's got 13 triple-doubles. He's worked very hard on becoming more than just an athlete. Become a playmaker, improved his shot. Not afraid to get the ball at the end of games. He has earned this All-NBA.
You have been using the word gentleman a lot lately. You seem to be enjoying that. Paper Perk, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, they should be in the running as maybe the best big man duo in the Eastern Conference. Do you still think that's their ceiling?
I do. I think they have the athleticism, they have the talent. I just question their toughness, their heart, and their mentality. In order for Cleveland to get where they're trying to go, and that's to the promised land, it's going to be on the backs of those two guys being able to anchor and build force and bring that tenacity, especially on the defensive side of things.
Well, this all adds up to ESPN Analytics saying that tonight's matchup, the Hawks and the Cavaliers, there's a 66% chance we could see this meeting in the first round of the playoffs, but we are
this is why I get dizzy.
A bumpy ride. Yeah, looking at this. This is what this means. It means that the East's only seed that's locked up is Detroit. That's it, the number one seed. The Cavs, they could get all the way up to 3. The Hawks could drop all the way to 9, and the possibilities in between are endless, really, here, Brian, when you look at what's best for Cleveland.
Yeah, but I actually think Cleveland is facing, I would say Cleveland and New York are facing two of the most pressure-filled situations in this postseason. They traded for James Harden, a 37-year-old, in the middle of the season. They have Donovan Mitchell, who is due a contract extension. He gets to make a vote on the direction of the franchise this summer. This playoff has got to work out for them. They were disappointing last year when they had the number one seed and got knocked out in the second round. This year, only 19th in overall defense since the All-Star break. That is not the recipe for how you make a deep playoff run.
I always ask, when you just said that, when you say pressure on Cleveland or pressure on the Knicks, who is it on, the players or the management? Because there are different things. As a player, you walk into that building, you're like, we're supposed to win, I'm trying to win, we don't win, what happens? But then as a manager, you say, I put this together, the pressure's on me. So when you said pressure, who did you talk about?
I'm talking about coach, management, things like that. But I agree.
Coach and management, not players.
Well, and James Harden, who forced his way out of L.A. to come in here, and he's going to get a contract. But you know what? Whether they win or lose, he's still going to get his contract.
Right, so it's the pressures on the management.
Your point is well taken.
Okay, I'm just checking.
I disagree with both of y'all.
I don't have a point. I was just asking clarity.
Have a point.
I was just
coming in strong, Kenny.
I had clarity. I just needed clarity.
All the pressure is on Donovan Mitchell. Matter of fact, he's under the most pressure out of any other player in the NBA. A Donovan Mitchell-led team has never, ever made it to a conference finals. Yes, he will go down as one of the greatest regular season players ever. But I can't put this on a guy, James Harden, the aging James Harden. Donovan Mitchell, one could argue, Kenny, and I told Wendy and Malika this, that the Cleveland Cavaliers has done more for Donovan Mitchell than what they did for LeBron James.
I don't think it's even questionable. I think that's absolutely true.
Okay, you say it's pressure on Donovan. And I would agree that I think it's pressure less because I don't think he's ever had a player like James Harden with him. So where he could take over for 7 to 10 possessions in a game. So now the pressure is, I think it's less because he doesn't have to be the closer, the beginning, and the middle.
I think
he doesn't have to be all pictures.
The burden is less, but the pressure is more.
But that makes it easier. When you have less burden, you have less anxiety, which means you have less pressure, I think. For me, I think it's better. This is the best situation that he could ever imagine. Because we are going to say, did James show up at the end of some of these games? It doesn't always go, did Donovan show up?
Right.
Did James show up? So I think it's some less burden for him as well.
But all right, in your playing days in '95, right?
Yep.
Clutch City.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
He was a young man
that was a
Texas.
young whippersnapper, Kendrick Perkins, and you guys added Clyde the Glide
100%.
in the middle of the season. It's a little bit of a different situation because you'd already experienced success. But was the expectation when you add a player that's that good mid-season, we know what the mission is, and anything else is probably considered a disappointment?
No, because when Clyde came, honestly, we were a 6th seed. We at that time were the first 6th seed to ever win an NBA championship.
Underestimate the
heart of a champion. So for us, it was like we needed a shot of adrenaline, and he brought that shot of adrenaline to us.
You don't think Cleveland needed a shot of adrenaline?
Yes, I think they needed a shot of adrenaline, but I also think that Donovan Mitchell, contrary to what Akeem Olajuwon was, he was accustomed to being criticized and praised because his performance did lead to wins and losses, where Donovan Mitchell was just becoming that. James Harden has been that. So now you have a guy who's been that, and you have a less of a responsibility to scoring load in the key moments. I always said, Donovan Mitchell at times had to be the opening pitcher, the middleman, and the closer. And that is a hard task for some people. LeBron was able to do it. But now he doesn't have to do that.
Kenny, they're going to bring you in as a consultant when they try to get him to sign this contract extension this summer.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're pitching to him. They're pitching to him that you've got a guy who's going to ease that up. But I don't know. I don't know if that's going to end up being
But
true.
wasn't that guy supposed to be Evan Mobley? And I don't know, but the whispers around the NBA is that the Cleveland Cavaliers are soft, that they're sponsored by Hostess Cupcakes because they creamy in the middle. And I'm looking at Evan Mobley. Yes, Donovan Mitchell is the best. Donovan Mitchell is the best player, but Evan Mobley is the most important player. He has to take that leap because, yes, we're talking about how great James Harden has been offensively, Donovan Mitchell, how great of a player he is offensively, but both of those guys are not great defensively. So in order to cover up that lack of defense on the perimeter, Evan Mobley has to be Victor Wembanyama type special.
Well, that may be a tall task, but Kenny Atkinson has said that they are treating tonight as a sort of dress rehearsal of sorts, right? Sunday, though, that's the last day of the NBA regular season. Yeah, we're already there.
Damn,
We're gonna
I've been going in March Madness too long.
The highest stakes. Don't worry, we got you working. You're going to be tipping off coverage with the Inside Crew starting at 5 o'clock Eastern, and we're hanging